Today, I'm going to cover few topics. There are quite a few of them, so I'm not going to waste no time. But the first thing I want to cover today is that the Texas petition, United Nations, over the law targeting LGBT. Because all this time you've been hearing me talking about the protection of the LGBT by me, but I have not been able to get to the bottom of having what you call a special nugget to be able to portray that. The group in a joint letter, allegations submitted Monday to the independent expert, working group and special rapporteur at the United Nations, write that the Texas leaders during the last state of legislation section intentionally targeted the LGBTQIA plus and have upended the life of the LGBT. The reason why I'm bringing that up is because I want to quickly clear the air that it said taking individually, it said the 7th piece of legislation that was put in place during this particular time was the Bill 14. They bar healthcare provider from admitting gender. Then there was another bill, Bill 17, that one targeted the university in a state for mandatory, they don't want no inclusion when it's time to admit people. Then they also went into, there was a Bill 15. This prevents transgender athletes from competing at the collegiate level. There was a Bill 763, allow unregistered religion chaplain not to counsel children in Texas public school. There was a Bill 12 that restricts drag performance. Then there was a Bill 900, which enables school to ban LGBT in the library books. There was a Bill 7217 that limits the ability of the city to pass certain local ordinances that conflict with the state law. When put all together, what the bone of contention is that there is an organization that, in conjunction with the ACLU and the GLAAD and the University of Texas Austin School of Law and Humanitarian Rights, they were not just targeting the state legislation which has passed almost like 55 legislation and 10% of what was passed in the entire country. These people were also big on telling that the Jerobi administration was supposed to have thrown their weight behind to protect the states, to protect the LGBT in the states, but has not done their work either. So this organization have gone in and took it to the court, but it went. So what they're saying is that the civil and the political right, ICLU, a decade-old United Nations nation to protect and preserve the basic human rights, failing to meet this minimum standard of international human rights treaty, highlights the state of LGBTQ right in Texas. Equally, the Texas CEO Ricardo Martinez said in a Monday, January 22, 2024. We turned to the court because the federal government did not do well. Because the federal government, we turned to the court because the federal government, when they failed, we turned to the world. That is the biggest heavy word they said, which means they tried to avert the situation, but when it didn't work, they had to go to the United Nations, which is a bigger war. What does that tell you? Exactly what is going on with the two political reign of the extreme right and the extreme left. The extreme right, that's the reason why they don't want the LGBTQ they want them to go 6 feet under. I don't know why they are doing that, but because they are just a bunch of people who do not believe that human rights does matter. Okay, so the reason I'm bringing that up is because I want you guys to know that this may have just gone through the media without nobody knowing, without you guys, my constituency, knowing that there was a big deal that the Texas legislation has been on this case for so long. I want to quickly throw that in here too. I did listen to Kamala Harris' address on the abortion case yesterday, and I was very, 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 very. I think this is one of her biggest speech that she has ever made. She was very clear, and she made it very, very clear that there was nobody in the audience that did not like what she has to say. And having said that now, I'm going to have to start. All along when I was talking about women, I was not able to put it in equation. I said, when you talk about women, you should be talking about their reproductive right. The right for them to have the right to their body, not being dictated by the government somewhere, someplace. So I'll finish that part that I just told you I was going to do there. Let me say that there was another issue that I wanted to bring up. I can just do this from my head. The other one is the issue that I'm bringing up is that at this point in time, America is already lost more than 1 million people to the COVID-19 because of the administration that was in power then playing politics with life. The only thing I want to say here now that matters is that don't make the mistake of not wearing your mask. That was the only thing that came out from the avian flu that started in the early part of last century, where almost 550 million people died. The only thing the science came out of that was the mask. So you can even see, I personally, or you can even see that if you go to the hospital before the COVID-19 came in, if the child, if in like a children's hospital, if a child is immunocompromised, they will put mask on them when people are visiting them. You will see that some people may have just gone to the hospital. When they're coming out of the hospital, they will have a mask. And I was looking at some people so strange that I would say, why are they wearing a mask? So when the COVID-19 came in, the only thing the science community was able to pull out of their heart was wearing a mask. And people became so gullible that they were listening to some knucklehead who was saying science doesn't matter. So the reason why I'm bringing that up now is that if I can save one life of one human being right now, I'm going on the record, please go and wear your mask. I know you want to look beautiful, you want to look sexy, you want to look like you are sexy, but it's not, those things doesn't matter, because if you are in denial that the mask doesn't work, I want to draw your attention to one thing. There were some people who were in the ICU who have denied that the mask doesn't work. So when they come to us and they were dying, they were changing their minds, saying, I wish I had worn a mask. So the reason I'm telling you is because if you are not wearing a mask, you are not only doing yourself in, you are doing your loved ones who are around you, you're also doing them in. Let me check on that recording. I think at this point, it may have gone to a dugout. It's still on because I'm a producer, I'm everything. So, if having said that, that was the second point. The third point that I was going to cover today has something to do with the fact that I need to change strategy a little bit. And I need to change strategy a little bit. And what I mean by changing strategy a little bit, I need to change strategy a little bit. And when I say I'm going to change strategy, I'm talking about another issue that came up yesterday. And it's about I'm going to talk from my head too about this because I'll give you a summary of it. Just a minute. So I'll give you a summary of it. The summary of it is that they had this assessment of the new hands